So I have many options. I can make this, or this blouse, or this blouse, or I can just do a combination. Honestly, I like this. Let's go. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to attempt to start planning out my Lunar New Year outfit. Lunar New Year. Okay, but you get it. Approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get it drafted, do a mock-up, actually make sure it fits, film everything, edit the video, and take nice pictures within 2 to 3 weeks. Not impossible, it's just that I don't know how much grit I have for this. Yeah, so we're gonna start with the mock-up. To be very honest, I have never made such a thing before. And the reason for me doing this is because I think that it's cool to wear something a little bit more related to my roots culture. I think it's just unfortunate that in Singapore, the Chinese people don't wear Chinese garments. Yeah, we should bring it back. But I do not like tight-fitting T-pows. I also do not like revealing outfits. So we are going to attempt something that I don't know whether you get to see in the future. And if you are seeing this, that means yay! Alright, let's go. I am going to figure this out. I have no idea what I'm doing. I need to slowly look through everything. I mean, it's pretty well laid out. Pretty good condition considering that this has sat inside my storage for years. Look at it, the layout of the pieces. I will just figure it out, I guess. At least these are comprehensive steps in English. Quite a few. Oh, these are beautiful patterns. Once again, I want a modern version, so not exactly thrilled to complete everything according to this. In fact, I think I might crochet some of the Chinese buttons, for example. I'm probably gonna use yarn. I have more than enough yarn for this. I just hope that it holds its shape. Given that I'm a tall gal, I'm definitely going for size 14. I hope my hair didn't look weird in this, but basically, I'm going to see you when I figure all of this out. Alright?
Cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing, 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 cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing,
I'm going to continue cutting, but off camera. There's no way I'm including everything in the video anyway, so transition. So we are in a very peculiar situation right now because I cannot find my pins. And I have no idea where I have put them. I'm not sure whether I can continue, today at least. I have not found my pins, so I'm gonna use safety pins. I have no idea where they would have gone. To be very frank, I don't know why they would have left the crafting area, but I'm not gonna let that hinder me, am I? I'm gonna pin the pattern that I cut out onto this piece of cloth, and I'm torn because I can't find my muslin. It's probably in another place. I need to go digging for it. If this one works out, this might actually be the actual thing because I don't have a lot of time. So let's get going.
cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing, cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing, cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing, cutting, sewing, pinning, sewing.
I'm up early, it's 7:30 and couldn't get back to bed, so I'm gonna continue on this today. I hope that I at least get the mock-up done, and after I get that done, we're gonna see whether I can transform that into the actual thing. Because I am using pretty good fabric. This is pretty great because I actually really cannot find my muslin. Other than that, I'm gonna get going. I think there's something wrong here. It shouldn't be sewing then pinning. I think it should be pinning then sewing. After all, I do a lot of pinning, right? Here we go, and
come, we interrupt the soundtrack, oh, chicken, to give you the sounds of sewing. So far, I'm liking the length. I think it kind of fits. It's a bit weird right now. But I'm glad that it is, you know, it drapes well. That's a good start. Also, look at that dust. Oh my goodness. I can't wear this outside anymore unless I give it a good wash. Dusty. Alright, I've cut out all the facing pieces and I put this on the model now, or the figurine, or whatever you want to call this, because where else to put it, right? Look at it. Whoa.
Mamma mia! Just a safe cloth and I'm sweating. Oh.
So here's the thing, I have no idea what to say, I have no idea what to write. I am just doing this song because I felt like doing it, because I just felt like, well, there's no song out there that talks about sewing and cutting and pinning and sewing and cutting and pinning. How about pattern drafting? I've done a lot of cutting, I've done a lot of pinning in this video anyway. Yeah. Led to the portion where we have to make our own bias. Yeah. I have to fold it into a triangle, cut it into half, and sew that. Yeah, that's right. Sewing it. Flick that paper. Let's go. Measurements. I mean, I'm just cutting and sewing, and now I'm pinning. See, you get the drift. Oh. So just for your information, sewing on this part of the sleeve was so difficult, and I basically unpicked it over and over again. Like, there was no end to it because I kept reading the diagram wrong. It was ridiculous. I think I spent a whole day on this basically. Yeah. Never ending. I only slept 4 hours and I'm yawning a lot, but I finally managed to figure this out. Doesn't this look so nice? Do you know what this is? This is part of the sleeve. I had to blind stitch stuff, and this is really messy, you can see. But I figured since no one is gonna see it except for the rest of the world, yeah, who cares, right? And I know that we can machine stitch the blind stitch, but I just wanted to try hand stitching it. Today, we are going to attach a sleeve to the big piece and like do something like this. Yeah, we're still in step 1 and it's been 4 days. Let's go! Step 2! Finally! Now we gotta involve the lining. Alright, this is the lining. We're gonna do this. Lay lining on top of the outer layer, also turned inside out but with the front up, holding the lining in place. I'm tired. What am I supposed to do? It is now, what's the time? It's 12:30 a.m. I have realized that I need to sleep, but it's more or less
coming together. Look at that. Sleeves attached. Made a mistake though, but you shall not know what the mistake is. And I am about to start on the various facings. Can I see it? Various facings. The various facings tomorrow, because I'm going to shower and my hair is crazy. I'm going to shower and I need to take off this. And I'm going to sleep. So good night everybody. Why am I doing this to myself? I have officially finished attaching the bias with all the facings. Now I just gotta add all the different facings. So I'm going to do that and you'll see that in the next minute. In 3, 2, 1. And the facings are on. This has taken me a week. I would call this progress. I just need to sew everything together now. The raw edges are still out, but I have a feeling that the instructions will lead me to sew it in. Maybe because I need to sew it in and then turn it around and then finish this at the front. I really like this portion at the sides. So far, it's looking pretty good. I'm happy. I'm about to embark on something really crazy because I am going to hand sew every single piece of facing to clean up all the raw edges. And I had just pinned it together, so kind of a first look, I guess. It's pretty, very nice. Yeah, it's finally on! Look at it! Wow! And the best part is that everything is aligned so far. Like the line is perfect. Like up the back and to the collar itself. I didn't add the Chinese collar here because it's hot in Singapore, okay? So what we have left are the buttons. And the thing is that I just looked at the instructions to tie a Chinese knot. They call it a frog, see? I don't get it. I'm too tired. This is like 9:56 and I think I'm going to just crochet my own buttons and call it a day. If I can get a button like this, and then after that, I basically just need to get something like this or improvise. You know, it's a modern version of the Chinese ethnic wear because why not? We live in modern times. It's D-Day! D-Day! Okay, I gave up on buttons. I tried, but like, these weren't really working and I didn't want to do more sewing, which is ironic because I'm supposed to sew everything, but I thought, well, maybe we can style this with something else. So I'm gonna iron this out and we're going to see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna go open concept. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go! Okay, so to honor the fact that I want to wear an outfit that is made entirely by myself, I have decided to wear some of my old creations. So I actually made a matching set. This skirt, which I feel like goes really well with this color. I don't know whether you can see it here. And 2 varieties of tops, which I will choose from. Both are kind of crops. One is more cropped than the other. We'll see how this goes because styling is a hit or miss. So, D-Day. We are officially on the way for the station. Long